All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin, Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. There's so many things you could be doing. Actually, there isn't. We're still on lockdown. I don't know what day it is now. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. I see Shane West from Chicago, Shauna Ross, North Carolina, Richard Alvarez, Gardena, Clevie Stewart, New York. Facebook is still tripping with me right now. They're still punishing me for the whole Bill Gates thing. So I'm on YouTube Live. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If this is your first time, hit the bell so that you get notified whenever we go live. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on your investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, take action, stay focused, do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that's the best that everybody can hope for. My man, Ron Ross, what's going on? All right, let's get into it. Today's a big day. Today is the 15th. We've been waiting for this day for a while now. A lot of lives are going to be changed within the next 30 days. Those of you that's part of our Up to Give ecosystem, all you need is 2. Get off of ground zero. It's game over. So let's see what's going on in the world of crypto. The market cap has dropped 193 billion. It is down 2.1% over the last 24 hours. My man Stan Williams, Provis Lofties, good morning. Bitcoin is at 67.28, down 2.6% over the last 24 hours. In fact, the whole market has been down last 24 hours. Tether is still in the red, so it's kind of hitting the bottom there. But if this thing doesn't pop above 7,000, I could see it dropping all the way to 5,000, 5,500 maybe. So we'll see how this plays out the next couple of days. All right, let's go to some news. Bitcoin facing bigger challenge than global financial crisis of 2008. As the IMF, International Monetary Fund, projects worst recession since Great Depression. Why don't I just call it? This is the new Great Depression's coming up. Just call it what it is. The International Monetary Fund, oh, good morning, Jacqueline from Maryland. The International Monetary Fund predicts the world is heading towards a massive financial crisis. Oh, really? Like we didn't see this one coming. Eclipsing the Great Depression that struck 90 years ago. Anybody around back then? My grandmother was, but she was only 6. Bitcoin. Good morning to the other Jacqueline from Florida. Bitcoin, which was born during the last global financial crisis of 2008, will face an unprecedented challenge to prove that it meets its primary purpose, surviving and ultimately thriving with a fixed supply, while government interventions and traditional monetary policies trigger widespread money printing. At a press briefing on Tuesday, IMF chief economist Gita Gopinath said that the magnitude and speed of the current collapse brought on by the loss of life and economic disruption due to the coronavirus is unlike anything we've experienced in our lifetimes. Yeah. At the same time, Gopinath argues that there is too much uncertainty to determine the road ahead as the crisis afflicts most countries, taking a toll on human life and the global economy. Good morning, my cousin Marnita. Says Gopinath, there is substantial uncertainty on the impact it will have on people's lives and livelihoods. A lot will depend on the epidemiology of the virus, the effectiveness of containment measures, and the development of therapeutics and vaccines. There's that word again. You guys starting to see on the news. I mean, it's like a playbook, and I know the plays that there's coming next. They're starting to shift everybody's focus now to what is life going to be like after coronavirus. Are we ever going to be the same again? And then this is the caveat. The only way we're going to get back to life as normal, according to the media, there's only one way this is going to happen. Forced vaccines globally. That's the only way we're going to, and if we don't do it, then we won't have a sense of normal until 2022. So it's like the Matrix. You think you have a choice, but all you have is an illusion of choice. You think you're in control, but you're really not, because both choices are designed a certain way. On one hand, I'm not taking the stupid vaccine. I think we'll just go let this thing die off naturally. But if we do that, that means we're going to be in shelter for 2 years until 2022, which means you're not going to be able to work a job for 2 years. Or take the vaccine and let's go back to life how it was before. Those are the choices we're going to be given. Don't be so quick to think you know exactly what you're going to do. Because as bad as things are right now, it is going to get worse. You're not hurting yet, but you will be. And I don't mean you being you. I'm just saying in general. We will be. We have not seen the worst yet. And I mean, what is up with 2020, by the way? Did somebody give them some boxing gloves and say, you're Mike Tyson, go at it, January 1st? Everybody else is Glass Joe? What in the world? It's like, there's no let up. I remember saying something 3 weeks into January. I'm like, what in the world's going on? On my crypto talk, I'm like, by that time, this is, we want to go back to those times. There was coronavirus, but it wasn't here. But I remember saying, man, what's going on? We blew up the Iranian general at the beginning of January. An Iranian plane got blown out of the sky, all 200-something innocent people dead. Australia was lit up like a matchstick, biggest continental fire in the last 200 years on the globe. What else? Oh, yeah, Kobe Bryant his helicopter runs into a hill. Are you serious? Come on now. This isn't 1930s and 40s. This is a state-of-the-art helicopter. Flew that route countless times. But Kobe runs into a hill. What else was going on back then? Oh, yeah, we had the impeachment. Third time in history that ever happened. There were some other things back then. That was just January. Oh, yeah, earthquakes in Puerto Rico at that time. There was like 200-something earthquakes in the same area in Puerto Rico. Power goes out and everything. Volcanoes were also popping up. Philippines had a big volcano. This is all just January. Then coronavirus comes in and flips the world upside down. Kids are home from school. You can't go to work. Did you see this the other day? Krakatoa, the freaking volcano Krakatoa, which put the entire globe, the last time that thing blew up, dropped the global temperature. Krakatoa erupts. Oh, did you also see the news? 2 days ago, they spotted 3 meteors and a comet coming towards Earth. You can't make this stuff up. It's like we are living every sci-fi horror flick of the 80s and 90s. We're living it live right now. And this is just April 15th. Like when we think 2020 is done, it says, hold my beer. I'm not finished yet. And we're not even at the worst. Just March 1st, we had our only first coronavirus death in the United States in Washington, beginning of March. Now it's over 20-something thousand a month and a half later. 20-something thousand lives. I can get biblical on you. I've read all Hal Lindsey's books, Left Behind series. I've seen the movie. I know Revelations. I know the book of Daniel. They want us to get vaccinated. They want us to get chipped. We are willingly giving away our rights. We either stay home and be broke or go to work and risk getting sick. We've never experienced any of this. There is no, I was telling my son this. He was trying to get smart with me the other day. I'm telling him what to do. He's like, how do you know? This has never happened before. What? Yeah, after I almost got backhanded. I'm still daddy, little boy. But none of us have ever experienced this before. This is new. Now, we cannot change the things that are happening to us. We cannot stop the earth from spinning. We cannot stop the sun and moon from rising. No matter how things are, the sun will still rise in the east and set in the west. There's still 24 hours on the clock. Collectively, we're all going through the same thing, but what is important is how you respond to the things that's happening to you. How you can prepare yourself for your family, your mindset. Can you profit from this? Or, I don't want to use that word, can you thrive from this? Can you see opportunity in the darkness? All right, I don't want to go on that type of train. It's crypto talk, not mindset. Okay, but this is an important quote here. There is substantial uncertainty on the impact it will have on people's lives and livelihoods. A lot will depend on the why can I say that word? Epidemiology of the virus, the effectiveness of containment measures, and the development of therapeutics and vaccines, variables which are very hard to predict. That difficulty withstanding, Gopinath analysis concludes that the Great Lockdown, oh, here we go. Remember the other day I said, well, I wonder what they're going to call this era. See, when the Great Depression happened, it wasn't called the Great Depression at that time. They called it the market crash. It wasn't until, the next generation looks back and the history buffs, yeah, that was the Great Depression. So I was like, I wonder what the future generations are going to call what we're going through right now. And we got the word there. Get used to that word. You're going to hear it for the rest of your life. You're going to be telling your grandkids and great-grandkids about it. We survived the Great Lockdown. And you know why that's important? It's not just a lockdown of a city, not just a lockdown of a community, a village, or a state, not even the lockdown of a country. We're talking about the lockdown of the entire planet. That has never in human history that we know of happened before. But yeah, we're alive right now to witness it. I would love to see what my grandpa would have had to say about these times. He was a wise man. My dad's dad, and what he would have thought of what's going down. He was real religious Christian. He would have said, this is the end times. Mark of the beast, like Proverbs says. The coming of the Lord, blah, blah, blah. The Great Lockdown, get used to that, will be far worse than the global financial crisis of 2008 and will deal the heaviest economic blow since the Great Depression. As a result of the pandemic, the IMF expects the global economy, this is going to be my word for the day, phrase, the Great Lockdown. As a result of the pandemic, the IMF expects the global economy to contract sharply, down 6% in 2020. For 2020, growth in advanced economies is projected at negative 6%. Emerging market and developing economies, which typically have normal growth levels, will well above advanced economies, are also projected to have negative growth of negative 1 and negative 2.2% if you exclude China. Income per capita for over 170 countries is also projected to shrink. So were you already doing okay? Was things just going good in your life before? Because it's just going to get worse if you don't make any new changes, if you try to continue as things are. So income per capita is projected to shrink, with the recovery delayed until 2021 due to pressure and fallout from the coronavirus pandemic, playing out throughout the year, restricting commerce, limiting normal activities, and sparking higher levels of unemployment. Johns Hopkins reports that there are nearly 2 million confirmed cases of coronavirus worldwide. Now, those numbers is minuscule compared to pandemics of the past. The Spanish flu was like, what, over 100-something million worldwide? So this is interesting to see. As a history buff, I'm fascinated, like, to be a witness of this. But then I have to slap myself and remember, you're living it. You're not just witnessing this, you're living it. You need to survive and have your family thrive through this for the next generation. You guys will be saying, I survived the great lockdown. All right, next news up. And we're going to go into dream mode on the last article. I'm going to put you guys in dream mode again. There's always hope. Crypto Newcomer surpasses Ethereum and Ripple in daily volume behind only Bitcoin. Really? What crypto Newcomer? A relatively new crypto asset just surpassed Ethereum and Ripple in daily volume, according to Messari's Real 10 Crypto Volume Index. Messari created the index in March of last year in an effort to reveal legitimate crypto volume by tracking 10 exchanges: Binance, Bitfinex, Bitflyer, Bitstamp, Bittrex, Coinbase Pro, Gemini, Itbit, Kraken, and Poloniex. Good morning, Bethany and Terrence. The move followed a report from Bitwise that was submitted to the U.S. SEC in March of 2019. At that time, oh wow, thank you, Terrence, 500 million deaths. That's right, there was more deaths from the Spanish flu than World War I. 500 million. This has barely scratched the surface because of global shutdown. I'm not going to go there. Let's stay here. Okay. Messari founder Ryan Selkis highlighted today's volume stats, which show Chainlink. I do not own any Chainlink. Surpassed Ethereum and Ripple to become second in overall trading. Did I do an article on Chainlink a couple of weeks ago? Sounds familiar. Messari reports $130 million in Link trading volume compared to $118 million for Ethereum and Ripple. Bitcoin remains on top with $1 billion. Chainlink. Let's take a look. I do remember talking about Chainlink. They've been coming up. It's worth $3.16. It's up 16.8% last 24 hours, 7 days. Let me take a closer look. Would this be a coin I need to hold on to? Okay, current price $3.16. All-time high was $4.94 about a month ago. All-time low 14 cents. Oh yeah, I do remember talking about Chainlink. All-time low was November 29, 2017, when it was at 14 cents. How many coins? There's this market cap volume, trading volume. Circulating supply, 364 million. Not that bad. This is a coin that can get to 1,000. I'm going to have to do some research about Chainlink. They seem to be coming up. Okay. The volume shift happened despite Link's current status outside of the top 10 largest cryptos by market cap. It ranks 11th. Oh, really, Anthony? This was one of Tika's top coins? That was when it was $1.66? Double that now. Triple that now. Chainlink is designed to help companies streamline the process of taking data that is external to blockchain applications and placing it on chain. Its native token, Link, was created to reward operators who power the network. Let me write Link down. I'm going to invest in it. It was one of the best performing cryptos of 2019, surging from 29 cents to $1.80, a 520% increase. Okay, let's do a little bit of dream mode right now. Let's just say you got in on Chainlink in the early days when it was 29 cents. Let's say you had $10,000. At 29 cents divided. 10,000 coins. So 34,482 coins if you got it at 29 cents. Then it went up to $1.80. Your $10,000 value just grew to $62,000. So that would have been a $50,000 bump. But now it's at $3.37. So 34,482. So in 1 year, your 10,000 would have grown to $116,000 in 1 year on Chainlink. Wow. All right, we're going to come back to dream mode in a second. A new report from Into the Block shows that networks on-chain fundamentals are strong, with a steady rise in the number of addresses holding Link in the past 12 months. However, according to new analysis from News BTC's Tony Spilotro, the TD sequential indicator, which tracks a series of price points to identify trend reversals, is currently flashing a sell signal for Link, which suggests that a price drop is on the horizon. Oh, yeah, okay, you can buy the dip on that one because it's pretty high right now. But now everybody knows about it. Okay, dream mode time with this article here. Close out Link. Kraken executive says Bitcoin could soar to $2 million in massive super cycle. Here's why. Oh, I'm going to love this dream mode. The director of business development at Kraken says he believes that the environment is ripe for Bitcoin to begin a major long-term bull run. In a new YouTube interview with Lark Davis, aka the Crypto Lark, Dan Held explains why he thinks Bitcoin's time has come. So far, Held argues Bitcoin has managed to weather the worst of the coronavirus pandemic without the need for intervention. We've got a huge macro backdrop where banks are literally printing $1 million a second, which happened a few weeks ago with the U.S., the Fed, and the Treasury. And so there couldn't be a better moment for Bitcoin than now. I've waited 8 years to see this. The crypto exchange executive says the industry as a whole has grown immensely over the years, citing the rise in the number of investors holding on to Bitcoin, as well as an increase in mainstream coverage from outlets like CNBC. According to Held, the current macro backdrop is fuel for the world's leading cryptocurrency, considering its limited total supply of 21 million units. Optimistic about Bitcoin's future, Held points to a contrarian argument that Bitcoin could begin a super cycle and move far beyond even the most bullish predictions. So far, the most bullish I've seen is 1 million. He's talking about $2 million a coin. We're seeing a scenario where there's a literal infinite amount of fiat that will be printed, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin. It's hard to predict, but long term, maybe late 2021, 2020, had a moment there, 2021, a year and a half from now, is when a lot of the models predict that we might see in historical cycles. The classical models show us at $80,000 to $300,000 per Bitcoin. We could see that. We could see something a little crazier. I call this a Bitcoin super cycle. Okay, hold up. Let's go into a little bit of dream mode here with the numbers that's being presented. All right, first let's go up with that $80,000 number a year and a half from now. We're in dream mode. I'm not gonna play with $10,000. Let's say you get your hand on 10 Bitcoin. 10 Bitcoin. Now, this is the next question. How do I get 10 Bitcoin? Okay. Number one, if you don't have the resources to buy Bitcoin, if you don't have the resources to mine Bitcoin, if you don't have the knowledge or resources to trade Bitcoin. Then you must build a network to earn Bitcoin. So let's say, and I'm not going to tell you what to do, but let's say you find a vehicle that allows you to build a network to earn 10 Bitcoin. 10. At today's price, we'll go with 6,700, right? 10 Bitcoin times $6,700. That puts you at $67,000 worth of coins. A Bitcoin right now at 10. You hold on to it. You don't sell it. You forget you have it. Stash it away. 1 year and a half from now. A year and a half from now. It is worth $80,000 a coin. You now have $800,000 worth of coin a year and a half from now from you earning 10. Let's just say somebody, I'm not going to say who, but somebody threw up in there up to give. I don't know who it was, Stan and Marnita, but somebody said up to give, right? And you paid $82 and you share with two people and you worked it and you got yourself to stage 5 and you were able to hover there for a couple of months, maxing it out. Not even maxing it out. You just got your hands on 10 Bitcoin. Because you can get 10 Bitcoin without even maxing it out every month. So 10. That's $800,000. What was your initial? See, this is what people think it takes a whole lot of money to play in this game. When I first got started, and I started to put my money into invest, August 30th, 2017 was $30. I put on the Poloniex exchange. $30. That was 2017. I've been living off of Bitcoin ever since. I flipped that 30 into 6 figures in 4 months. I haven't gone back. That was almost 3 years ago. Started with 30. Here, well, I'm not going to say the name of the company up to give and Marnita and Stan. But you come out of pocket $82 one time, and you put your head down and you go to work. Get yourself your hands on 10 Bitcoin, and you sit on it. Now that's at 80,000, but he says it might even hit $300,000 by the end of 2021. So those same 10 Bitcoins you got your hands on, 300,000. That's 3 million. 3 million by the end of 2021, a year and a half from now. Let's say you're a naysayer, you're a critic, you're a non-believer. In other words, you're not educated on this space. Because that's the only reason why you can deny it. You just don't know what it is. And that's okay. You say, I'm going to stick with my job because the government's going to give me a stimulus check. This corona thing's going to be over. I'm going to take the vaccine so they can track me. And I'm going to get back to making $75,000 a year. And I'm never going to get fired or laid off for the next 25 years. And I never have to pay taxes. So $75,000 for the next 25 years without getting laid off or fired or having to pay taxes or another coronavirus hits or whatever else comes along. Nibiru or whatever, a planet or asteroid hits, there's nothing that happens. No World War III, nothing. You're going to be left with $1.875 million over the next 25 years. Every single dime you spend is going to come out of that pot for the next 25 years. Not to mention that you're going to need to survive on that when you retire. So not only every dime you spend from now till then, but every dime you're going to spend for the rest of your life. Because you're going to stop working. There ain't going to be no pension, 401k or savings. Don't even get that in your head. $1.875 million for 25 years of busting your ass on a job under all perfect circumstances for 25 years. Or you get yourself in a vehicle, you earn 10 Bitcoin, and you sit on it. Brandon, there's no guarantee Bitcoin's going to go up. You're right, but let's look at past performance. It's the best performing asset of the last decade by far. I think I'll take my chances with that. 10 Bitcoin, 3 million. 3 million, that's almost double the 1.875 million over the next 25 years of you busting your butt, risking your life to get Corona, working a job. Okay, I'm not done with dream mode yet. We're going to come back to this. Let's finish the article. We could see Bitcoin enter a super cycle. A super cycle. It's like a hurricane, right? We could see Bitcoin enter a super cycle where everyone's seen that graph of Bitcoin's price, that log graph price, and you get a little boom bust, boom bust, boom bust. But what if Bitcoin went a level step up on a long chart? If the world truly fears their money being devalued, every institution, every sovereign wealth fund, every central bank, if they all truly fear that, Bitcoin's not going to stop at 100,000 or 300,000. It could go up to 1 million or 2. Okay. Let's go back to that 10 Bitcoin scenario. 10 Bitcoin times $1 million a coin. $10 million worth of coins. And you started with 82 bucks and you shared it with 2 people. See, here's what gets me right now, and I learned this when I first became an entrepreneur. And I remember my 7-figure mentor saying, Brandon, getting rich is simple. It's just not easy. It's simple. And it took me years to fully understand what he meant by it. Once I learned the soft skills necessary and the light bulb went off in my head, it took 10 years to get there, by the way. Now, once that happened and I understood the formula, simple means that there is a formula. If you just do the formula, you have no choice but to get rich. It's just not easy. It's simple, not easy. And I already have the blueprint for this with the current vehicle that we're using. If my goal is, okay, if Bitcoin's going to get to $1 million one day, I need to get my hands on 10 Bitcoin. And if I don't have enough money to buy 10 Bitcoin and sit on it, then I need to build a network to do so. So let me look for a vehicle out there. Okay, there's this up to give thing. Okay, how much does it cost? What's my risk? Less than 82 bucks? Okay, I put that in. What else do I need to do? Oh, I got to share it with 2 people? I don't know. I don't know if I could find 2 people. I don't know. That sounds kind of hard. Wait, what? Everybody's under a coronavirus lockdown and people can't work a job. You mean to tell me you can't find 2 people who's broke, busted, and disgusted, hungry, looking for an opportunity, looking for a way that they can buy milk for their children? That means that's everybody. So I just have to find 2 people. Take advantage of the global community line. Help those 2 people. Let me get myself to stage 5. The max on that is 8 Bitcoin every 60 days. So I do that for 4 months. I've got my hand on at least 10 Bitcoin. So if this is April, May, June, July, so by August I can have 10 Bitcoin. I don't know what the price of Bitcoin may be by that time, but at least I got my hands on 10. And then they're saying that by the end of 2021, Bitcoin might be worth $80,000 a coin, or $100,000, or one day it gets to $1 million. Now, for me doing that work for 4 months, I've got $10 million worth. So hold up. He's saying, what if it goes to 2 million? So those 10 Bitcoin, you mean the math is pretty simple. is worth 20 million. But let me really shock you. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million a coin, what do you think Ripple would be at? Or, let's see, what do I want to use? Ripple, Stellar. I'll use Ripple. Ripple is at 18 cents right now. Its all-time high was $3.40 when Bitcoin was at 20,000. They say if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, that Ripple could possibly get to $10 per coin. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million a coin, Ripple could go to $100 per coin. If Bitcoin goes to 2 million, Ripple could get to $250 a coin. So let's use that $250 per coin mark. And where do I come up with these numbers? I'm not just pulling it on my ass. Where am I getting that from? The coin market cap numbers. The entire coin market cap, Bitcoin represents 63%. Ripple represents 4% of that. So if for Bitcoin to get to $1 million or $2 million a coin, the entire crypto market cap's got to be around 4 trillion, 5 trillion. I might have that number off. Maybe I would say between 5 to 10 trillion, the entire crypto market cap. And all boats rise with the rising tides, which means Ripple rises, Ethereum rises, all the other major coins rise with it. So let's just predict a $250 Ripple coin. Now I'm going to be conservative here and say you only had $10,000. I want to be conservative. $10,000, and as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor telling you what to do. I am only playing with numbers. I'm speculating. This is dream mode. So you get your hand on $10,000 and you buy Ripple at today's price of 18 cents. That gives you, wow, that's very specific, 55,555 coins. Ripple goes back to its all-time high of $3.40. So we can say that because it's gotten there before. Your $10,000 just grew to $188,000. That's if it just goes back to its all-time high when Bitcoin was at 20,000. But those same 55,555 coins, let's say Ripple goes to $10 a coin. That's 555,000. That's what your 10,000 is getting you. But let's just say Bitcoin goes to $100 per coin. I'm not Bitcoin, I mean Ripple. $100 per coin because Bitcoin gets to $1 million. That's 5.5 million. What if it goes to $250 per coin? $13.8 million. All right, now I'm going to scare you. And this is what dream mode is all about. You didn't play with 10,000. You played with 100,000 worth of Ripple. So that gives you 555,555 coins. Ripple goes back to its all-time high, $3.40. That's 1.8 million, just by it going back to its all-time high. Ripple goes to $100 a coin. 55.5 million. Ripple goes to $250 per coin. 138.8 million. Do you think these numbers are far-fetched? How do you think the Bitcoin millionaires became Bitcoin millionaires? They got in on Bitcoin when it was 10 cents, 18 cents, $2, $100, $300 a coin. It's already happened. This is why I don't sleep at night. This is why I am not one of those complainers. But one of my biggest pet peeves is a grown man who sends me messages crying and complaining about something. I don't care what it is, or even if it's valid, especially when they have absolutely no solution. They're just crying and complaining about something they don't control. Drives me crazy. And I'm like, you do not see the big picture. You don't understand the process. You're just a whiner. Go outside and carry your wife's purse next time. That's where you belong. You complain more than a woman does. See, a woman, when she complains, it's because she's venting. And she may not necessarily need you to give her a solution. She just wants to get it out. But when I see these men that's whining and complaining, it grates at me. Do something. What's your solution? Life happens. Crap happens. What are you going to do about it? Be a man. Should say, be a woman. A woman will find a way. She always does. What do you want, your mama? This is why I can't sleep. The world is changing right before our eyes. The solution is presented right in front of us. And whether we like it or not, things are going to happen. Bitcoin may never reach $2 million a coin. It may get to $200,000 a coin. It doesn't really matter to me at that point. All right. Wait, am I done with this article? Go back and see. Okay. So where did I leave off at? Okay. Despite his optimism, Held warns that Bitcoin is not for everyone and says anyone considering an investment in the extremely risky asset must be prepared for Bitcoin to lose 85% of its value at any time. That is true. After you get through your first time of losing 80% of your net worth, that's happened to me 3 times, early 2013, late 2013, and 2017. It's really effing hard to hold Bitcoin. The volatility is so intense. Satoshi actually hypothesized that Bitcoin's intense volatility would act as a viral loop, bringing people into Bitcoin. He said as the price increases, more people will become aware of it and wanting to take advantage of the increasing value they buy in, which then further pumps up the price and brings more awareness. And he wrote this before Bitcoin was worth a penny. So Satoshi very intimately understood human psychology. And all my bet really is will people choose to preserve their wealth, which is almost unanimously yes. And will they act greedy? And both are kind of one and the same. And I think we can assume humans will act like humans, which means the answer is yes. Okay, here's the next question, though, he's not asking. Yes, humans will want to preserve their wealth. Where will they preserve it? Will they preserve it in real estate, stocks and bonds, precious metals? Gold is a given. I already know that. That's a given. Gold and silver, that's a given. But we need to wait and see if Bitcoin becomes the new gold as a store of value. See, Bitcoin was not designed to be a store of value. But just because you put something on paper doesn't mean that's how the people are going to use it. This is why I explained with Up to Give, for example. We didn't open the doors yet. Everything was theory. It hasn't been proven yet. It looks good on paper, but can it work in reality? We are proving that right now. Just like, I'll give you guys an example. Everybody's throwing up the prayer emoji right now, right? That ain't a prayer emoji. It's two people giving a high five to each other. We just use it as a prayer emoji. That's not how it was designed. Bitcoin was designed to be, the new digital money, crypto-wise, but people are using it like digital gold. There's always a human factor in there. We came out the gate with Up to Give with a grand idea, nobody being left behind. Everybody will be guaranteed 2 contributions. And we thought that would be the motivator for people to go to work. Instead, it was an enabler of people doing absolutely nothing because they wanted something for free. That's not how it was supposed to work on paper. But just because you put it there, you got the human factor. You always have to adjust for that. So whether Bitcoin gets to 2 million or not, I know it's going to be a lot higher than it is right now. So, wow, I went extra long today. Thank you guys for listening in. I did a crypto talk yesterday. So today is the 15th. It's a big day I've been waiting for. I'm sitting back patiently waiting to see what the devs do with the website. And it's go time. I am doing a presentation tonight for those of you that do not have a plan B. You have no idea what to do. And you're looking for an option. And that's all this is. It's not where I'm saying this is better than what anybody else has going on, to the eye of the beholder. But we do have a plan. And if you'd like to know what that plan is all about, and maybe it may align with what you want to do. Maybe. Not for everybody, but maybe for you. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific tonight, uptogive.info. And if not this, find another vehicle. Find something that will work for you. Think outside of the box. This is a brand new world we live in today. Stay safe, stay indoors, and survive. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. See you all tonight. Bye-bye.